Hi, welcome back to my journal journey. Today I am continuing my setup for my media journal. To begin with, I am just flipping through what I covered in my last video, and so if you want to see the setup for that, please head on over to the last video. I am so happy with the way that this collection turned out, and I'm so excited to get into this journal. That's all of the 2025 focus. I wanted a collection of pages which focused on the here and now, so the things that I have currently got in my shelf and that I would like to read by the end of the year. Same with my subscription lists, things that I aspire to watch. It's just a very current collection. I changed up the theme for these spreads because in my Being Bethany Rose advent calendar, I got some absolutely adorable stickers, and with these stickers I wanted them to get use, and this was going to be the best place to use them, obvious reasons. So I finished the last section with just craft paper for a quote, and then I moved on to this double spread in a new aesthetic. I always enjoy having bookshelves in my reading journals. I've tried a few in my everyday journals, but because I only have them for 6 months, I start them but I never quite fill up the bookshelf, whereas this one is going to start full up, and my plan is that I will colour in the book when I have actually read it. It's not a one-of-a-kind idea from me. I saw someone do it online, forgot to like the video, so I can't actually remember who gave me the idea, but it's not an idea that I've come up with. For my bookshelf, I do have the purple Up to Daisy stencil to the side. I do enjoy that stencil, I think it's absolutely fantastic, but there's just a space in between the books, and because the material of the stencil for the old style of stencils is opaque, it's not that easy to put the books together. So I just decided to go in with my ruler for the most part and just draw some rectangles myself. I know that I wanted this ladder style bookshelf. I was debating whether to colour in the background behind the books or not. Still unsure, but I do enjoy the end look of this spread. I want to put one of the bigger stickers at the front of the bookshelf. So you saw me before just measuring out roughly where that sticker will lie. So in the bottom right hand corner, I have not drawn any books because the sticker will be covering it anyway. And because I'm too excited for this sticker, I start colouring in my bookshelf using my Tombow 977. It's a really nice light brown. And if you watched my previous video, it's the brown that I also coloured my envelope with. So all that's coloured on this page is the shelves. And as I say, my plan is to colour in the books once I've read them. I love receiving books, I love buying books for a bargain, but I'm just not that quick at reading. So this is the gonk that I want to use for this page, and this is what set about this whole collection of pages was that sticker right there. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I truly loved my Being Bethany Rose Advent. For the 3 books that I've just drawn, I did them completely without a ruler, and I really didn't like them at the end. They were a bit too wonky for me, so I went back in with my little 15cm ruler. For the setup, I'm using a 0.8 fine liner. I tend to like using the thicker fine liners. I just like a bolder line. On my last shelf, if I was really thinking about this, I would have started the books at the opposite side of the shelf, but it was a last moment thought. I wanted something else to break up the books, so I went and found a drawer of stickers, and there's a lot of potted plants in this drawer. I thought I'd found the perfect one, and then I was umming and ahhing, and I ended up pulling out a beautiful bunch of flowers, but they weren't in a pot. All the pots with the flowers and the greenery inside and little smiley faces on the pots, they are all from an Etsy shop that I came across. Some of them are a bit off centre because I did buy a defect pack of stickers, which you have to sort yourself. They come with every theme imaginable. Some that you'll love, some not so much. But if you are struggling for money and want something aesthetically pleasing, I would definitely recommend getting them. On the right hand side, I am setting up a to be read list. These are for books that I have not yet purchased. I've got a whole list on my notes app on my phone of books that I really want to buy or really interest me. So I've just made a list, and this is going to be somewhere that I can collate that list and keep it all together. And then if someone does ask me what I want for a birthday gift, I can just snap a picture of that list. Books are always a great little stocking filler. I do enjoy getting them, especially for my birthday. I think I've been over ambitious with quite how many lines I drew on this page, but while I was drawing them, I was thinking I'd rather have too many lines than not enough lines. So these setups are quite simple and straightforward today, and there's a lot of line drawing. Just using a second sticker from Being Bethany Rose. I was going to try and put one up in the corner which says 12 new chapters, 365 new chances, but I think that's going to go in my everyday journal on New Year's Day. And I'm just using my Papermate flares just to colour in the titles for this section. The colours don't stay consistent. I use 3 different colours for the 3 different titles, and I've just felt what colour was right for that page. For this page, I was going off the left hand hat with the purple. One a little bit darker, but I'm quite happy with it. So for this page, I don't usually like mixing up fonts for headers, but I did want to use these stickers so much that I looked past that. Otherwise, the stickers won't get used. And I picked up a washi tape that I have had for quite a while, and I got it off Amazon. And it's just a film reel. I did have one which you can see on the top right hand side of the screen, but they were more photographs than film reel, so that's why I decided not to use that roll of tape. For my pal on the sofa up at the top, I decided to go for a smaller version of the sticker. The bigger version's coming later, don't worry. And a couple of the little TVs for the right hand page, just to add that little bit of something. But then I know that I've also got the washi tape to add the decoration. When I hold the ruler up, I know that the page is 13 centimetres across, so I leave a box in the middle of the book, and then I do a 6 centimetre line, leave a box, and another 6 centimetre line. That way I know that the lines are the same size, and I have consistency throughout the book and throughout the spread. Only because if something like that is majorly off, it will bug me no end, and I just won't want to use the spread. And I know that sounds really, really crazy, and some people might think a little bit silly, but I know what will make me stop using the spreads, so just for a little bit of measuring, I'm willing to do it. For the lines, I do freehand them in. For the most part, they look alright. There are a couple of squiggles, but because the N95 Tombow colour that I use is quite faint, it doesn't bother me too much, which is a contradiction from my last point, I know. what are you going to do? For these spreads, on the left hand side, I have got channels, and they're going to be YouTube channels. On the right hand side, I have got shows. I don't know why I've called them shows. I think it's because that's what I see on my podcasting app, but they're basically for my current podcast subscriptions. I wanted a list of shows and channels that I subscribe to now, and then if I come across any more, I can pop them in my monthly spreads. And I know that throughout the year I will have a few clear outs of channels that I no longer watch or shows that no longer interest me, so I do have a few clear outs throughout the year. So my January 2025 list will not look the same as my December 2025 list. So I am quite excited to see how they change. Because of the platform of the left hand side, I decided to go for a red title colour, and for the right hand side, my app is purple, so I decided to go for a purple title. That is what has drawn me to those two heading colours. I did hold up the sticker to the page, but then I remembered that I prefer the lines first and then the stickers, which is absolutely something that I forget on the next page. All in all, these spreads altogether took me about an hour to set up. When I went in with them, I had a vague idea, but I had not penciled anything out, and I was just rolling with what felt right, which I'm glad I did, because I think they look great. Bit biased, but I think they look great, and I am very, very excited to get into them. When I was colouring in these titles, I realised that the Papermate Flares may not have been my best choice for a pen, but I only had 3 to colour in, and one of those titles was only 3 letters. I do enjoy the colours of the Papermate Flares. I just wish they had colour names or numbers on the side of the pen. I have to say, I have loved using these stickers from Being Bethany Rose. I really enjoy the font. I've got no idea what the font's called. It's an Upsy-Daisy stencil that I received in a mystery box, I think last January. So I've got no idea what it's called, but it reminds me of a cartoon font. So very impressed with it. I think this might have been the first set of spreads that I've ever used this font. I'm just going in and lining out. I had a moment when lining up the ruler, because the title channels and the title show, they're not on the same line. One's a box higher than the other, but I made sure the light grey lines started on the same line. Hopefully I'll forget about that mistake when I come to populate these pages. It more made me laugh than frustrated me. And I'd done all the colouring in already, so I was not fixing that. Some mistakes I can live with. There's not actually a lot of mistakes that I will go in and try and cover up, because occasionally I feel like the cover up brings more attention to the mistake, whereas if you just roll with it, you can find it funny. What are your plans for your reading and your media in your journals this year? Do you have a separate journal for it? Or is it in your everyday, just to stick everything in one place? I'd love to know how everyone does it. Absolutely in love with these stickers. This last page, I forgot about the whole, we like to draw the lines before we stick the stickers down. So the lines look a bit off. That's totally my fault because of what I've just done here. I got too excited about these stickers. So the title at the top is just Songs of the Year, and there's a cute little gonk down at the bottom, and I have just done 2 loads of lines. I am so impressed with how these spreads have turned out. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I will speak to you soon. Bye!